Okay, folks, let me try this again. Bathrobe Chronicles on the road, and as we speak, I'm sitting in Corsicana, Texas. What I did is and I hope it works, is I opened up another YouTube place, and for my travels, if you will, I'm going to have a separate channel. I think that would make things a lot easier instead of mixing it in with the other videos I've been doing. I'm sure some folks I might post this on the Casita, I'll get to that in a minute, forum, and I'm sure those folks most likely wouldn't appreciate much of the stuff on my other channel. Of course, a lot of folks don't appreciate any of the stuff on my other channel. But hey, that's the way it goes. Anyway, well, let me tell you about the trip. It was interesting. This, by the way, is Sunday evening, and at Texas time, it's about 9:30, and East Coast time, of course, 2 hours ahead, 11:30. My initial thoughts, since it's 1,400 miles, I thought what I would do is take 3 days, you know, head out, spend the night in a motel, head out, spend the night in a motel, head out, spend the night in a motel, and pick up the trailer the next day, which the trailer is going to be ready Tuesday morning. As I said, this is Sunday evening. Excuse me. So what I did is I made a reservation for Monday evening, and you know, thinking, you know, I would somehow get here Monday evening and then pick up the trailer the next day, Tuesday. I'm not all that keen on staying in motels. However, this is a Best Western, and it was suggested by the gentleman at the trailer place, and one of the reasons he suggested it is it's fairly new. And it's pretty darn nice. It's got a huge, nice living area here, so to speak, with a couch, you know, a giant bed, refrigerator, microwave, what do you call it, Wi-Fi, TV, all kinds of stuff, you know, everything a person needs, I guess. So I'm glad I picked this one. It was fairly reasonable. It was 70 bucks. That's with the old person's discount. Changing subject slightly, and I'll get back to the trip. Here, I don't know if you can see this. This is a Busch beer, but you notice it says Texas. Anyway, back when I was a kid, I was stationed in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is just up the road a piece. And I remember on the way here, I was thinking back if there wasn't a beer called Lone Star. And I remember it was 89 cents, and I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong, 89 cents a six-pack. Because I always said you could buy the beer, excuse me, cheaper than soft drinks, for crying out loud. So I decided that when I got here to Texas, I was going to get me some Lone Star beer. Now, I went to Walmart tonight. That's another story. And they didn't have any. And maybe I'm not even remembering correctly, but I'm pretty sure it was Lone Star. Of course, it could have been bought up. Of course, it could be that Walmart just doesn't sell Lone Star. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, cheers. Where was I? The trip. So I headed out, and then I was thinking, I wonder if I could just drive the whole thing, you know, 1,400 miles. And I hadn't actually had that much sleep the night before, and I think I got out of the house, so to speak, about 9 or 9:30. Stopped at McDonald's for Egg McMuffins, you know, to eat on the go, and headed out. Let me see, where did I stop next? I don't even, well, let me see. I stopped for gas, Kannapolis, North Carolina. Headed on down the road. I stopped for gas again. I don't even remember well, anyway. And then one time I was going to pull off and get some food. I was going to actually go get a McDonald's hamburger. I figured I'd get a couple of those babies. But I saw a Captain D's out in the middle of nowhere. So I got a fish sandwich and had them cut it in half, headed out again. Then I said, screw it, I'm just going to, you know, drive all the way, and if I get tired, I'll go to a rest stop. Well, frankly, I waited a little too long, and I, you know, sort of dozed like that. So I pulled into a rest stop. I couldn't have been there for much more than 45 minutes or an hour, and you know, just sort of reclined the seat, had a pillow. I doubt if I got any real sleep, but I don't know if you, are you able to doze without sleeping? Well, who knows? But anyway, but I felt really refreshed, you know, when I hit the road again. So anyway, that was it. I made it here. What really ticked me off is about 60 miles from here, I got lost twice. And when I told the young lady here at the hotel or motel that, she said, yeah, both of those places that I mentioned, she said, yeah, it's pretty confusing because it isn't real clear what they want you to do. But anyway, the only part of the trip I really didn't like was Atlanta. And here again, this was a Saturday evening, 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Man, oh man, I bet I was on one road that had 6 or 7 lanes. People driving like maniacs, 2 inches from each other and all of that. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. You know, and I'm glad I got here. I came in this morning to the hotel. Man, I whipped. It was like 9:30 in the morning. Of course, I'd been driving or on the road for close to 24 hours. Excuse me. And I said to the young lady, I need your help, and I'm sure I looked like it. She was real nice. They had a room, excuse me, that they hadn't rented last night. So there I was. You should help yourself to some breakfast. And man, I came up here, and a few minutes later, that was it. I was conked out. Got up this evening, whatever time it was, went to Walmart, got a bunch of stuff. I'll get to more on that later. And had a nice meal with a real pleasant waiter guy at a chain. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Cotton Patch. I would imagine it's out here in the West. Haven't heard of it in the East. Had a nice enough meal and bought a few beers. I don't know why I bought the beer, because I rarely drink beer, but I wanted Texas beer. And no, I ain't seen no cowboys yet. But anyway, here's the problem. When I checked the weather last week, man, everything was great here. My brother sent me an email, and he said, hey, there's a storm coming. Well, here's the deal. I'm supposed to pick up my trailer on Tuesday. Tuesday, it's supposed to be a high of 43 and a low of 18. Wednesday, high of 27, low of 14. Thursday, high of 33, low of 18. And it's not till Friday that the low, which is 30, you know, is getting close to not freezing. And then it looks okay after that. No, although next Tuesday's down to 31 again. I don't know what in the world happened. Coming up here last night, my car has a gauge that shows what the temperature is outside. It was in the 60s last night, I think, you know, on the way here. But anyway, so that's my concern. You know, this trailer freezing up. Now, one of the reasons I did definitely go to Walmart tonight is I bought, they have this called RV antifreeze that you, most of the time you use it is when you winterize, and you would, you know, have it in all your pipes, all the water hoses and all that kind of stuff. But when I mentioned my concern about freezing a week or so ago to Harold, a nice fellow I'm buying the trailer from, he said that the only tank, there's 3 tanks. Oh, by the way, I'm buying a casita trailer, C-A-S-I-T-A, which I think means small house in Spanish or something like that. I'm not really sure. It's 17 feet from end to end, and I think that gives you about 15 feet of actual trailer. I'm not sure, but it's a little tiny guy, but it does have everything that I guess we need or want. You know, an air conditioner with a heat strip, a furnace, an actual propane furnace, hot water heater, whatever else you need. Oh, decent sized refrigerator and a little freezer gizmo. So it's got everything that you need. Anyway, and boy did I load my car up. There's barely any room in it at all. I mean, stuff is just jammed everywhere. So, where was I? Yeah, the casita trailer. Now, my initial plans is I was going to come here, pick up the trailer Tuesday, and stay 2 days at a close by campground to make sure of 2 things. Number 1, everything worked on the trailer, and number 2, I knew how to work it all. I mean, it's not that complicated, and I lived on a boat for 3 years, and there's some similarities as far as the 12-volt system, you know, for the water pump and that, you know, and all that other kind of stuff. But for instance, this trailer, you can have the refrigerator either on 12-volt, 110, or propane. And that's one thing I could never understand. How in the world can you take propane, which explodes, which ignites, which heats, that you use to heat, like using your furnace, and somehow make the refrigerator cold? How in the world does that happen? That is a miracle. So anyway, that's my story. So I'm going to fire off a note to Harold tonight asking him what the heck's going on with this temperature and what I should do. And I'm going to sort of let him make the decision for me, because you know, if he says, oh, I know, let me back up. When I talked to him before about the freezing, he said the primary tank that can freeze, and by the way, there's three. There's one tank with fresh water. There's a tank that's called a gray tank, which, like when you shower and wash your dishes and all that kind of stuff, it goes into the gray tank. Then, yes, there's that other tank, and they call that the black tank. Now, according to Harold, the tank that might possibly freeze, or could freeze, because it's more exposed, is the gray water tank. And he said, he seemed to be saying, as I remember, don't worry about it. We can just pour some antifreeze in there. So I went to, that was one of the main reasons for Walmart tonight, is I went and bought 4 gallons of antifreeze. So right now, I'm not sure what's going on. And also, just in case I'm sort of like weathered in, whatever that means, I grabbed about 12 cans of chili, different, you know, brands and types and all that other kind of stuff. I've got some apples and soft drinks and peanut butter and crackers and what else? I don't know. Other kinds of stuff like that. Yes, I have a bottle of single malt scotch, a couple bottles of wine. Now I have 12 beers, including good old Bush, Texas beer. So I'm not sure what the future holds. Now, what my plans are as of the 2nd is, you know, try to tape some stuff about my camping adventures, or, you know, travel trailer adventures, or what have you, and maybe, you know, make some videos if I go to a nice place or something looks cool or something like that. I'm not sure. And what I ended up calling this new channel, and don't laugh, yeah, it's most likely, is, you ready for this? The Confused Pilgrim. Now, if you look up Pilgrim, excuse me, it of course has a religious connotation. I don't think I'm going to be like going out and trying to, you know, be a pilgrim in that way. Some of the other ones I had, yeah, these are most likely really dorky. Neophyte traveler, confused nomad, confused wanderer, lost nomad, perplexed this, the unknown journey, blah, 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 blah. But I ended up on this, the Confused Pilgrim. And that may be pretty close. You know, somebody who's wandering or something. Hey, maybe you could even say somebody who's searching and confused and clueless. I think I would fit all those bills. But anyway, that's sort of the deal. Now, I had some other ones that on the way to Texas, I mounted the camera on a slick tripod I have and taped some stuff, having no idea what I was going to do with it. But maybe I'll take a look at that tonight, download that tonight, and I'll try and get at least one of these things published. And if you're someone who I think might even care about this, I will be glad to let you know. And also, this new camera that I'm using, by the way, I can't see what the camera is saying. I aimed it, I hope that I'm somewhere in it. I mean, not that you really need to see me. And also, this mic, I've used it one other time, and it seemed to work pretty well. And I've got this little gizmo that's remote, so I don't have to go like this like I did on the other channel. But anyway, as Pat Condell would say, peace, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. You all take care. Bye.